And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, for Saturday. It is Bronze Boot Camp, the first game. I am Leshok, joined here today with Mr. Santana. Say hi, Santana.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. So what we will be doing today, ladies and gentlemen, is we've got two teams going head-to-head here of players ranked in Solo Queue Silver 5 and below for Bronze Boot Camp, and they're going to play against each other to simulate a solo queue environment while we shoutcast, give tips for how to improve so that everyone can get better at their game. Also, don't forget to check us out at TrinityForcePodcast.com because we've got the Four Awards podcast, we've got the T-Force proper, we've got the LCS rundown, we've just got too many things to name. Check out the website. Anyways, we're here on the Champ Select, so let's go.
Just a side point. How much coffee have you had this morning?
This is my shoutcasting voice.
I don't. All right, then. You're a little too peppy for me right now. But anyway, let's break this down in the Champ Select. We got a first pick, Jinx, coming out after Sivir, followed by Sivir and Zac. Bans, interesting, I'll say. Blue team, we have Heimer, Cat, Master Yi, and Purple's got the standard Skarner, Mordekaiser, Darius bans right now. Maybe this person doesn't... The way I look at bans is, for the most part, you would like to ban what's strong in the meta. So right now that's going to be your Bruisers, your Juggernauts per se, and then there's a couple other ones. Honestly, there's a lot of things that could be considered primary bans right now. But I don't personally like banning things I just think are annoying, because the chances you'll see like that one-trick Heimer in your solo queue environment, or a Master Yi player, it's a lot lower. Yes, Cat and Yi are very high carry champions, and in the lower elos you will see that, but for the most part it's okay just to stick the meta bans and not do anything too out there.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a lot of, especially in the lore, of people just banning things that they are not comfortable playing against, but I'm going to agree with Santana on this point. The greater odds you want to rely on is banning champions that are really strong in the pick, because there are well over 120 champions now. So the odds of you just going up against that one that you don't like versus trying to ban out ones that are stronger is what you really want to shoot for.
Yeah. Because like right now, if I'm a player in this game, I'm looking at things like, oh, Fiora's open, Gangplank's open. Sure, I might not be the most, like, if you're not comfortable playing the champion, don't pick it just because it's a power pick. But if you know it, like, if you identify what the strong meta picks are, you can use that really well to climb. All right, so let's see. Got some interesting picks coming out here. We've got Jungle Kale, which
Devourer Kale.
The Devourer, yep. We saw PoE and EU LCS try to bust it out mid lane. What I didn't know, fun fact for this, is you don't actually have to get the last hit with Devourer to get the stack.
Really?
That's why PoE was playing it in EU, because all you have to do is hit it, and the jungler can still get his gold off it, and you get the stack on your Devourer. Now that takes a little bit more coordination than we're going to see in a solo queue environment, but just things to think about. Oh boy, we've got... Is this going to be a mid lane Akali?
I think we're going to see that mid lane Akali, because that's probably a top Trundle of Ignite.
Well, we'll wait for summoners until we get to our delay time. But yes, so team comps coming out on blue team.
Can we say all in?
I mean, the problem with saying they're all in is they truly don't have a way to engage a fight. I mean, a Trundle pillar can pick somebody here, but overall, Jinx can kind of slow somebody, Kale can slow somebody, Tom can slow somebody, but this isn't reliable engage. And they're not exactly a poke comp either. What I could see is a lot of split pushing here. Kale's a very good split pusher, Jinx knocks down turrets very fast, Trundle splits very well, Akali, once she gets ahead, can be a danger 1v1. So out of blue team, I'd like to see more of a 1-4, a 1-3-1, because if you look at purple teams, team comp, they're gonna run at you, and they're gonna fight you, and they're gonna win these team fights with Zach, Lysandra, and Sivir being very good team fighters, and Jana for the peel for Sivir as well. So.
I mean, yeah, purple team is basically that guy in high school that nobody liked. Do you want to fight? Because that's what they're doing.
I mean, I was that guy in high school, but that's okay. Not really. So, all right, gonna be a good one. I'm excited. I know you're excited. God knows you're excited. Let's just talk about individual lanes really quick here. So we've got Trundle versus what I assume is a top lane Zac. If Kargan was here. Kargan is our Trundle fanatic. So for the most part, they're both taking Ignite. It looks like. But I wouldn't be surprised if this just devolves into a farm lane with Trundle having a little more pressure on Zac just because Zac's most likely not... His base damages are okay, but... Oh, nope. Trundle did take TP. Okay, so that changes things. Now Zac has kill pressure in lane. I still expect it to be a farm lane top lane with Trundle eventually getting the edge if he goes Blade of the Ruined King first item into Zac. I could see that being very strong there. Zac's going to try and stack health, get his resistances, while Trundle's just going to try and get his blade and split push. Jungle matchup, Kayle versus Rek'Sai. Kayle's not a great ganking jungler, agreed? It's really hard for her to get in there. She does get a speed boost off her W, and Q can slow, but as a Devourer jungler, she's going to want to power farm here and get that sated Devourer so she can just destroy people 1v1. But Rek'Sai, very strong early game jungler, very good creative gank pass. If I was Rek'Sai, I'd be looking at the Akali lane to focus. No escape, really. Trundle has a speed boost, and Tom and Jinx can do their things, but Akali is very immobile, especially for flashes down. And even if she's 6, she still needs something behind her to dash to. So I give jungle advantage there to Rek'Sai, unless Rek'Sai doesn't pressure the lanes enough.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you're going up against a Devourer's jungler, for the most part, there's a few exceptions. Like, you want to play a heavy early game ganking jungler because a lot of Devourer's junglers are just not coming out of their jungle right away, even though they should be. But that's another discussion. And Rek'Sai has a lot of early gank pressure, in my personal opinion.
Yep, with 6 abilities. Tunnel's kind of an ability, but it is a gap closer, so.
Well, since we still have a minute left in here, don't mean to cut you off, but Twitch stream asks, how do we feel about Kayle with Runeglaive? Twitch chat asked.
Kayle with Runeglaive. So, it gives you an earlier power spike. It gives you a little bit more AP scaling for your abilities. The thing with Runeglaive on Kayle is when you get Devourer, it's a bigger power spike for Kayle, because Kayle's actually very good with attack speed. It was Season 4, we saw a lot more 80 top lane Kayles when her scalings were a little bit different. Really, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be more of a split pusher or 1v1 fighter, I would say go with Devourer. If you want to be more of a team-oriented, kind of like, I'm going to help my AD carry out, I'm going to give them a heal here, I'm going to make sure my R's up, I could see going more R, or more Runeglaive centric. But Kayle's very good with on-hit effects. Usually after you see your Devourer, you'll see Nashor's Tooth a lot of the time for that extra cooldown, extra attack speed, and then you'll follow it up with something like a Rylai's and then maybe a Hurricane. This is some of the builds that have been coming out lately on Kayle's. Runeglaive does work, it does give you that Sheen proc and whatnot, but if you want a Sheen item, it's usually better for Kayle to go Lichbane, which is why you don't see Runeglaive right now on her.
Alright.
I hope that thoroughly answered that comment. No, it's a good observation though. She can go Runeglaive if she wants more AP for more of a nuke kind of build. Although, but her nuke ability when they nerfed that back in season. Ugh.
Screen's gonna catch up.
4.
I apologize. It's been my first time hosting the stream, so there might be a little bit of wonkiness from time to time.
He is not our regular stream hoster because Kargan's out doing real life things because he's kind of a loser. Don't tell him I told you that. All right, but let's break this down to skins here. We've got 2 skin versus 3 skin, and I don't like the Chef Tom skin, so I'm gonna give edge to red team skin wise, mainly because pool party Zach. But this is the first time I have seen Headhunter Akali, so don't see Akali too often. But mid lane matchup, this is gonna be really rough for the Akali. Her early game is pretty abysmal. Her Q doesn't really do much. She has to use it to farm a lot of the times. Base damage has been lowered so much that it's not even good for free harass.
There we go.
She is a resourceless champion. And Lissandra just gets free spell casts every 18 seconds or so. I forget what the passive cooldown is. Also, if Akali ever goes in, Lissandra can just R her, or W away, or root her in place. So it's... And Lissandra has a very... She can go full AP, one-shot the carry kind of builds. But you usually see like Zhonya's out of her. I've seen Roa sometimes. I'm not a big fan of Roa Lissandra. But she tends to be a little more defensive, and with her ult as well, that now heals, it's going to be a lot harder for this Akali to truly 1v1 her, unless she gets farmed from the other lanes. Alright. Bot lane, Sivir, Janna versus Tom Kench, Jinx. Not familiar with this. I haven't seen a lot of Tom Kench since he came out. However, Janna is just such a strong support in lane that it can be a little overpowering sometimes with her shield and Sivir Q. They can chunk out the Jinx lane pretty well. Shield also negates some of that poke Jinx can do with her long-range rockets. So it lets them kind of sustain a little bit, and I put sustain in air quotes because it's not true sustain, but it's damage prevention, which works just as well. And we have the Good Luck Have Funs coming out on both sides here as we get a line of scrimmage going. Or we're getting the aggressive Kayle invade? Oh man, get some level 1 action. Alright, Sivir, that's a fine ward there. You can go ahead and put that down early. Kayle, buddy, wow. That was... Alright, let's talk about that. That was a really big risk there. It may not seem like one, but you shouldn't be, especially by yourself, early on, face-checking bushes. We saw this in Battle Arena on Thursday, where somebody walked into blue side's red buff and just got CC locked and killed a minute in. So, realistically, if you're going to try and do something like that, your team should be like, beforehand, be like, alright, we're going to go up through and get a ward on blue buff, or something like that. Or you step ward to make sure you're not getting, you know, face-checked into a Rek'Sai, a Janna, and a Sivir, and then Lissandra. Because that could have been bad. Turns out not to be so as bad, because nothing happened there. But you kind of know they're going to start blue side anyway, so that ward isn't necessary. That's alright, we're going to get to some laning now.
Alright, and we're off.
And we are off. Zach actually put a ward by his red buff just in case. I also don't think that's super necessary. You saw the Kayle come in, so the chance of a red buff steal there is very low. And I'd like to save that ward for lane about 3 minutes in or so. Alright. Alright, so Tom playing up a little bit here, getting some Q poke down. That's fine. He's actually got a fairly short cooldown at level 1 and can do some damage here. Ooh, Janna, careful. You don't want to just step up like that, especially into a melee support. You're a ranged champion, abuse that. Also, you don't have to use your shield off cooldown. Go ahead and hold that in case the trades happen. You don't want to just burn through mana willy-nilly, or just use it when it comes off cooldown. Okay. What are you seeing early so far?
I'm watching. Oh, Tom is really out there when they had level 2 on them. Working there,
Yeah.
Monument to My Sins. When they have the level 2 advantage on you, you want to kind of play it a little bit safe till you catch up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even though level 2 on Janna and Sivir isn't the most devastating in the world, it's still a
Hmm.
whole level advantage on you.
Yeah. And a level advantage. Ooh, that was a good tornado there on the Tom. Level advantages usually are about 300 to 400 gold worth of stats, maybe a little bit more. I'm math failing me right now. Just so it's like you're down like a cloth armor or a longsword or something like that. Things you normally know I shouldn't trade here.
Oh, we're about to see some danger
Oh
up in the
wow,
top.
Kale is really deep right now with no vision.
Uh,
She did put a ward on red buff, but
Dr. Fun going for the
oh
Skull Crab, a jungler after my own heart.
yes,
I can,
this
yeah.
this isn't a Kale. You probably shouldn't be on the side of the map. Oh,
Without
oh,
blue,
you have the ward.
without blue buff either.
Oh, Trundle, you had the ward there. You saw the Rek'Sai. This is gonna be first blood.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Probably shouldn't burn your flash there. You were 100% dead. There's no reason. You got ignited and you took a tower shot. Like flashing there isn't gonna help you. You had the ward in the bush, so that gank, that's just you not recognizing what's going on there. You have to pay attention to your minimap at all times. Like get used to checking your minimap every 15, 20 seconds, even more so than that. Just glance down at that minimap when you're CSing and whatnot. Because that gank could have been easily prevented if you just looked at it and saw, oh, there's Rek'Sai, I need the Trundle run away now. And then use that flash to get away from the Rek'Sai instead of flashing when you're already dead. Good job by Rek'Sai recognizing that, hey, Trundle's pushed up really far, I should go kill him.
Oh, we got good play on mid. Oh, but gets the tower
No.
soon enough.
Yeah. Missed that out, but it looks like Akali's actually winning the lane for the most part. She's got a pretty big CS lead.
So it looks like
And got Gunblade coming out for her, pretty standard. And a pink ward, thank you. Mid laners don't buy enough pink wards, and Kale got a pink ward. I feel like this might be a game where I don't have to harp on the vision as much, because I feel like we do that every time I cast.
whew.
It's really nice, as a jungler and as a mid laner, if you can get pinks on your first back, and put them either in your side lane pixel bushes, or the banana bushes on either side. It provides you that security, and alright, I can see if I'm getting ganked, but also if the other team's just not checking, those wards can last a very long time. Yep. Alright, if you're gonna Zach, if you're gonna put that ward in that bush, I would actually keep it as close to your side of the wall as you can. Because that way, if Rek'Sai tries to come over and clear that, you can at least threaten from over wall as Akali. Or if there's somebody else there, they can protect it over the wall as well. When you push it out into the middle like that, it doesn't give you that much more vision, and you can't defend it as well.
How do we feel about the Sunfire Cape Rush on Zac? I don't know enough
I
about
think
Zac to judge it.
So, the thing about Zac is, that's actually pretty standard, especially into this. You have two strong AD champions. Kale coming in for the gank here, but Zac's 6, and he still has passive up.
And he just walked right by
Yep, he's
Rek'Sai.
gonna get out, it looks like. Yep.
Oh
Oh,
no, he wants to fight.
ooh, that's an early ignite. Jinx, where are you? There you are. Good traps there. Everybody should be backing off now. You don't need to run up there. Alright, so a couple things happened right there. Kali ran by the Jinx, or the Rek'Sai didn't notice. Ignited really early. Hold your ignite. Unless it's something like a Vlad where you need to like ignite early to make sure that he doesn't just sustain through everything. There's no... Oh, Tom, what do you do? Oh. Looks like Tom's...
I saw the thought process.
Yeah, I saw the thought process there. Jinx just got to work on your rocket placement. That could have played out pretty well. Interesting little synergy there, but now you've got chunked out. And you have no mana. So... but like I was saying... Oh, Rek'Sai's bot lane really... Looks like might burn both flashes here. Nope. Alright. So burns is good job on Rek'Sai recognizing Jinx is a little far up and gets the flash burn there. But yeah, Zach, don't burn your ignite so early. There's a very small likelihood of you getting the kill with Jinx being chunked out already, and you just don't have the damage yet. Top lane, Kayle had the right idea. The problem was Zach was already 6, and he just kind of ulted out and then flashed at the end there. And he still had passive up. Oh, that was a Jinx rocket.
Stuck around lane too long, low health.
Yeah, if you're low on health against Jinx, be careful, because that will happen. Let's see if they notice the Rek'Sai coming down. They see the Rek'Sai.
They got that pink ward.
Alright, Jinx, don't be greedy here. Go ahead. Just go ahead and back. I know it. Sivir looks really, really appetizing right now with no health. Oh, Sivir, you can't walk up like that.
Oh, the spell shield!
Just out of range, actually.
Regardless, she was still prepared for the spell shield. Either way.
And Lissandra's going to get a kill here on Akali. Nope.
No.
Tunnel's out. Looks like there was a big all-in by Lissandra there with the level advantage.
I was fully expecting that Jinx and Tom were going to be looking to push the lane there until Tom hit 6, and then force Sivir to run backwards and then die for between towers.
Yeah. All right, Tom, you're getting a little aggressive here. Go ahead, back. The thing about Tom, especially early on, is when you hit 6, if you're coordinated with your ADC, you can get a free recall and just get back to lane immediately because of his ult. Because early on, that ult doesn't have as much pressure for the other lanes. It's like mid lanes, Lissandra's, you're not going to be able to get anything out of that. Zach has a passive up, so it's really hard for Tom to get that useful mobility, because like right now he can just use ult to get to lane and then keep pushing that tower in. But Sunfire and Zach, before we got a bunch of action around the map here. Sunfire and Zach's pretty good. You'll see it a lot of the times. It gives him some extra pushing power, and it gives him some health, and it's just a good item on Zach. It lets him push the wave up easier, and especially into Trundle. Trundle's going to be split pushing a lot of the time. It'll help him counteract that. Now, it can be a problem because Trundle can steal Zach's resistances, but overall, it gives him some extra magic damage as well. Then we see the Trundle all in top lane right now. It looks like
the ult to get out.
Just gets out, yep.
The longer the fight, the stronger the Trundle.
Yup. So, good idea by Miso to... Now, Miso, if I was you right now, I'd bring this wave back and freeze it. You don't have to just keep autoing. You can just freeze that wave and zone the Zac out. Because Zac's so low, if he tries to come up in CS, you can just trade with him and deny him CS. As a top laner, one of the most important things you can do in a lane is if you're got the other laner chunked out, you can just deny him. And you probably shouldn't be fighting in that minion wave right now. There's a lot of minions there, you're going to take a lot of free damage.
Free damage, get your free damage.
Pretty much. Caster minions do a lot of damage.
Would you dare say tons of damage?
Oh, Akali going in on the Lissandra is going to get out. I'd be careful, Zach.
Oh, she's banking. You can tell she's banking on that.
Lissandra's really strong right now. It looks like she's getting the early Abyssal, recognizing that she needs some more defensive capabilities against that Akali. Kayle should have W here in... Yep. She'll be fine. Rek'Sai, you don't have to burn Flash there. The likelihood of you finishing that kill off is pretty low. You went Cinderhulk, so you don't have... Your base damages are okay, but you don't have... If you went Warrior, that would be an easier time. Oh, Miso actually got the passive on Zac.
We might be about to see... Oh, no, misaimed it.
The rocket?
Yeah, the bot lane rocket.
Alright.
But everyone's so low here.
Yeah.
This is scary.
With the Rek'Sai coming in at full, too. They have a pink ward there? Oh, it had it in Dragon. They don't see this.
Dragon Pit. They're not going to see this coming. Rek'Sai's going to be able to die. They don't have the wave. Don't have the wave.
That's fine. They'll get him off the tower at least. And if Rek'Sai stays, they could probably push this down or rotate the dragon. Personally, I'd like to see a rotation of the dragon right now. Get that dragon for free. You see Kayle where she is right now. She's going to have to save this wave. Also, taking turret's fine. Kali, you've been spotted out by wards. You're also going in 1v3. So unless that was kind of a poor rotation there. Oh, you're
Oh,
in a
geez,
really
a
bad.
collie. Oh, is
Mhm.
collie?
Oh, okay. She's gonna pick up one. It and gets out.
She's going back in.
That Rek'Sai is so strong right now, though.
She needs to jump on Janna right now if she wants any hope. Or just keep letting Kale
Wow,
auto attack.
well played by
Oh,
Zach.
but
Oh,
then
here comes Tom.
Tom Kench.
Uh, good, good use of the Tom ult there, just to prevent.
Oh,
Oh, Janna. This is what happens. You guys stayed around too long on low health. Akali came up. Now that was really risky by Zach. If they layered their CC a little bit better, he probably would have been dead. But well played to get onto the Sivir and get the kill.
yeah, they could.
Yeah, they can drag. They can drag in.
Yeah, you're right.
If Tom tanks it, they have to be wary of Lissandra. They don't have any vision over there. The problem I have with this is without the vision. Oh,
Oh,
Lissandra.
nice snap.
Yep.
But she's about to get eaten.
Yeah.
Or just plain blown up. You know, that's another option too.
Okay. Yep. So Lissandra, you shouldn't have W'd in there. Once again, this came down to vision. Blue team, if you're gonna go for that dragon, somebody's got to go ward. You're doing it now, but that should have happened before the dragon was started.
Yeah.
Lissandra, you went for W for damage and then followed in. Oh, Janna. Can't face check when you don't have vision on that side.
No.
Good play by the Tom. Yep, okay. Good flash bite. Alright, so things are snowballing a little bit here. Gold's actually still pretty even. All things considered, because they got the early turret. They actually got 2 turrets there. They got mid lane as well as bot lane. But the kills are definitely in favor of blue side right now.
Yeah, that is an interesting to point out there. It's like 5-1 on kills, but because the tower advantage, the gold is still even.
Global gold is very strong. Alright. So we're getting some first finished items here. Sunfire's been finished on Zach.
Getting some
Abyssal's been finished on Lissandra.
getting some
Jinx.
robot Santana.
Is it? Sorry.
I don't know if it's me or if it's you.
It probably. Oh,
Yes.
Sivir again, staying around too long. I know you guys want farm. You're actually farming pretty well. You can give up some farm just so you don't give up kills. If you're really low, just go ahead and. Janna's playing aggressive here. You don't have the damage for that.
Nope, but she's got the Rek'Sai. But then there's Tom
Well, now
Kench.
she does. Alright. Alright, Janna. You're playing a little over aggressive. I know your jungler's there. But by playing like that, it doesn't allow Rek'Sai to get in. Because you've taken so much damage and now you have to get out. That now it's still a 1v2 for the Rek'Sai.
And that's also a case in point to make sure you're looking at what the enemy's items are. Jinx, has BF sword and agility cloak, so you don't know when a random crit's going to blow you up.
Action topside and Kali's come up, but I don't think she's going to be able to catch in on that Zac.
Now
That's
Zac's
the thing
going
about
to bounce.
Yeah, top lane Zac is super safe with his ult if he has it up because he can just bounce away along with flash.
So let's talk about vision on the map right now, since it looks
Vision,
like
right?
we'll
Blue
have a
side's
moment.
vision's actually pretty good. We've got 2 wards over on red side's blue buff. Oh, it was better. There's a Zac's pink ward is still there. They have a pink ward and dragon. What I would like to see,
I know
with your mid lane and bot lane tower is gone, you need to ward up that bottom side of your jungle because Rek'Sai and Lissandra are very good at roaming through awkward spaces by tunneling or glacial pathing. Or not glacial path, no, it is glacial path, yeah. Look at me knowing ability names. So that makes bot lane really vulnerable, especially with both of them not having flash up. So if I'm red side, I'm going to try and rotate bot and get some picks there and maybe push a tier 2. Kale caught out the Rek'Sai. Kale's getting pretty big. Her Devourer is not quite sated.
Nope, 14 stacks.
14. Got a long way to go then. Trundle finally finishes his Blade of the Ruined King. That's a pretty big power spike for him. A little bit late. You want to see it a little bit earlier, but the lane's been kind of weird. Oh,
no.
Sivir. Sivir has to burn flash. Alright.
It's a hard case of knowing if when to spell shield around the like Jinx Tom Kench there. I personally, if you feel like you're getting all the autos, spell shield when you see that red fish on you. When
Mm-hmm.
that crab goes red, that's when you want to be invulnerable. You're immune to an effect.
Stuns, yeah. Because there's no if Tom like bites you down and then stuns you, and then Jinx follows it up with a trap, you're 100% dead. Um,
Top lane
I
action.
I like that Tom's playing aggressive now. He knows he has advantage there without the Sivir having flash and also being a short ranged AD carry. Uh, they're shoving up a lot, but they're not. Oh, looks like we got some action topside. Passive pops. Again, Trundle, Trundle, you're flashing when you're already dead.
Here
Ooh, the turnaround by Kale.
Thought we were about to see the dive.
Yeah. Um, you were already ignited, and you were at such low health that no matter what you did there, you were dead. Don't waste your summoner spells. If you're gonna use them, use flash early. Don't wait till like, oh, I'm ignited. Now I need the flash because I'm gonna die. Well, the ignite's gonna kill you anyway. All right, Hex Tech finish for the Akali and a Giant's Belt. So it looks like we're gonna see some Rylai's action coming out of the Akali.
Kicking it old school.
Yeah. And it looks like Kale's going for that Nashor's Tooth. Tom's just gonna tank this tower. Oh,
He's
gotta be careful there. Don't take
Jin-
tower too much.
Jinx
Also, some awkward pink wards by red team on their bot side there. Maybe misclicked there, but yeah. All right, but Vision. Once again, Blues got nothing up besides 2 pinks bot side and 1 in the bush. Trundle, no wards. You've upgraded your trinket. Use it. It's up every minute. Akali, you just placed yours in the bush. That's fine, but I would like to see you buy some more. Red side, you also don't have any vision besides those 2 pinks in lane.
jungle fight.
Yup, Kale's getting really strong. Whoa. Good pathing by the Rek'Sai. She's got ult, though. 3 there. She's caught out. Tom, I wouldn't go in on that. Oh.
That Janna ult just... Wow.
Probably wasn't necessary. Probably could have just stood there, but,
Well, it
you know, better safe than sorry.
unknowingly blew people out of the path of the rocket, too.
Yeah. Well, Janna can't blow on her own team. But, yes, the rocket just kind of went to the left. Zac... Oh, I was going around the Zac. He doesn't have passive. Almost got the pillar. Not quite. Alright, so other build paths coming out. Jinx is pretty strong now. She's got IE and boots compared to just Avarice. Janna's caught out here.
Good night, Janna.
Sivir and Rek'Sai are almost there. But they're also really low. Yep, you can't... Alright. Jinx, you probably didn't have to... Oh, there's a crit. The Jinx show has started. Zac didn't have to flash that. And Trundle gets the kill top lane. Alright, so...
And there goes the...
There's Zac. Little away in the ult. If you're gonna try and back out, ult earlier. It'll give that movement speed to your entire team there. Because if you ult right after you got down to the Janna, there's a good chance all of you get out before Akali gets down there. It's going to be second dragon for blue team. Good job there.
That really helps the Devourer stacks, because that's 5 right there. How do
Yep,
we...
she's at 24 right now.
Thoughts on Kale going for Nashor's before getting a second tier boot?
That's fine. If you're gonna get boots, you're probably getting Sorks. Yeah, you could get Sorks before Nashor's. It looks like they just want to start pushing these towers down, so the extra CD and attack speed from Nashor's is going to help that more than boots will. You do occasionally see attack speed Greaves. It really depends on runes. But right now, as you can see, Jinx and Kale can just destroy these towers really easily. And now the Trundle split push has begun top lane too. Alright, so if we're looking at this right now, blue team should be looking in the back. They're sitting on a lot of gold. So while they have a 4,000, 5,000 gold lead, it's all in their pockets. It hasn't been spent. Well, red team, sure they just died, but all their money has been spent.
The Kale chase is on.
Zach, you need to be watching what your team's doing.
I would have saved that ultimate, thinking it's on a really short cooldown.
Yep. But they get the pick on Kale. Akali's right there.
Kali's in a bad place.
Yeah. Trundle's right there. If Trundle just pillars, they'll be fine, yeah. And Akali can dash out at this point. Yeah, they're good.
Ulted in.
Yeah. So they waste a little bit of time chasing there. That's okay. Good to rotate up top by red team and get a free kill where you can. As when you're behind, the best thing you can do is just start looking for picks or just trade kills. Because that gold's going to do more good for you than it is going to be for the other team. Because you're going to get the shutdowns, you're going to get the extra like kill bonuses there and the assist gold. So, now, while I'm not saying just fight to fight for kills, it's not the worst thing where, alright, we got one pick there and then we waste a little bit of time chasing the Akali. Blue team definitely needs to start getting some... They're starting to work on that vision a little bit deeper. I'd like to see some vision on red side's red buff. Past that, in that bush right behind it.
I'd like to have seen... Oh.
There's a Sivir ult. Alright. Tom saving his Jinx. As Tom, I would just...
Stand in the way?
Try and pull them away. Oh, look at that shield, though.
Mm-hmm. So, one thing I haven't seen a lot of this game that I would have liked to see more is I haven't seen Trundle really take a TP advantage, because Zach doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, Kale.
Kale caught out. Again with the flash. They could go Baron here. Yep. This is the correct call. Somebody should... the thing... Alright. Janna, switch out your trinket. You have... Oh, I didn't even see this. You have Ruby Sightstone. There's no point in getting Ruby Sightstone before finishing anything else. Like, you get Sightstone. Oh, yep, that's a dead Jinx.
Yeah, when you get Sightstone, swap out the Sweeper.
Swap to Sweeper. Junglers as well. I see Kale went for a Vision Totem, but Rek'Sai, and Zach caught out. Alright, so now red team is just playing around this Baron, their lack of vision, and getting these free picks. Now they can go for this Baron. Sivir, you need to be with your team. You're most of the damage there. But yeah, guys, switch out your trinkets if your support. Oh, you're taking so much damage there. Janna, almost in a flash. This is a Jinx rocket. Yup, it's gonna miss though. Alright, red team should just back off. Alright, so you guys were... right idea starting the Baron first time. Second time, you were too low and your Sivir didn't come initially. So you got chunked out really hard, and then Trundle just kind of messed with you guys enough. Yeah.
He got to do Trundle things.
Alright. Yeah. We actually have Titanic Hydra on Rek'Sai. That's fine, I assume.
Oh, the tower pushing Kale.
Yeah, Kale... She's got her Nashers on. It looks like she actually is going to go attack speed Greaves. So she's just going to be this on-hit magic damage Kale. Which is what we've been seeing a lot. Morello's finished on Lissandra. IE static Shiv on Sivir. So, this extra tower gold is actually keeping... Oh, Sivir doesn't have boots, that's why. Sivir, get your boots. As an AD carry, you're immobile, you need your move speed.
They're made...
that should... Yeah. Probably get those after your IE.
They're made for walking.
Boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. I like red side's vision on blue side's jungle, right by Baron. I like that they're getting that set up if they want to think about it again. But you need sweepers. So, Rek'Sai and Janna, after you got your Sightstone, you should have got your sweeper. Rek'Sai, after first back, you should have gotten your sweeper.
Dragons in 24 seconds. People should...
So, red's moving down there now. They should be getting vision set up. Janna's got her talisman done as well. And Moby's. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, don't finish Ruby Sightstone. You get a little bit of health out of it, but there's better items you could be spending that money on right now. Like an Aegis. Aegis would be pretty good here against Kale. because she's going to be doing some of that splash damage. Trundle, you don't have a ward to TP to, but it would be something to think about. Tom's just walking in here. I'd be careful about doing that. Yeah, Tom, I would not walk up like that. Ooh, Lissandra.
Tom was being a distraction, so that.
So there's a mixed call here. You've got to make. Oh, there's a TP mid lane. Looks like Trundle's gonna try and come down. All right, and red team, now that they've spent their gold, just cleans that up. They should get a dragon. Or nope, Trundle's right there. They can get the inhib. So things that happen there. They start a dragon. Right idea. Lissandra went in to try and kill the Jinx or kill somebody. Jinx killed her. So either the team has to like bait the dragon and then fight and get maybe a pick and then go back to dragon, or all stay on dragon. Zach, you don't have TP. You have to be with your team.
See, this is a good call for the team. Jinx is
yeah.
totally in a position that she can solo that dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 3 good tower pushing champions on this team. Trundle,
Yeah.
Kayle, Jinx all push towers extremely hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Zach, you got to start being with your team. Oh, and they rotate to get bot tower. Good. They had the wave set up for that too. Trundle, I'd get out of there now. Whoa, Trundle's being really big right now. Janna, I think Janna DC'd there. She's just kind of sitting there. Oh, no, there she goes. Alright, so Burns flash on Sever and gets out for free. Trundle's getting really strong. So now blue team can do a couple of things. They can Kayle's top lane. They can push this tower. Or they can start denying the vision and start working on getting this Baron set up. Monument, you just walk back to the pink ward. Pay attention to where you're walking. And it wasn't even one that was like hidden. It's one that's out in the open. Yeah, so just make sure you're paying attention when you're walking. You'll see pink wards in bushes all the time, and you just might walk past them. Attack move in the bushes, or just attack move around, so you can see if there's a ward that you just didn't see, but your character picked up. Zach, you walk through a ward, so they should know you're there. There you go. Alright, so some bigger item buys coming out here. Rylai's on Akali. Last Whisper on Jinx. Aegis coming out on Tahm Kench. Spirit Vicious on Trundle. And it looks like Sated's done on Kayle, and she's almost got Lichbane. So they're in a really strong place right now.
So where do you think red team should be going to try and make something happen here?
Well, Janna just got caught out and she's dead.
At that point, Kayle,
Ooh.
I personally think you should have just turned and kept fighting while your ult was up.
Yeah, you had ult. You probably could have killed the server. Tom comes out of nowhere.
I haven't seen Tom carry anyone with him the entire time.
He hasn't done that. He's usually been using just the ult to kind of initiate, but he's chunked out a lot. Jinx is here. Oh, Zach picks up one, but that's going to be an ace here. And they can
Baron. They can totally Baron.
Trundle could tank that, or they're just going to go top lane. Oh, death timers aren't long enough. Yeah, okay, so... Mine's not picking on us, yes.
I don't know.
They can get a tower, but the problem is they don't have the wave here now.
I would have gone to Baron personally.
Now it's a little late to Baron, because Rek'Sai actually doesn't have a lot of tunnel setup. So either I haven't been paying too much attention to that, but your side of the jungle should at least be filled with tunnels. There should be like tunnelception over there. That way it gives you options to ult. Because without tunnels, your ult does zilch. Yeah, they need a Trundle there. They don't tank very well.
No,
there you go.
But only Janna has showed up.
Yeah, they're trying to clear that mid wave out, but they are taking a lot of damage. Jinx is bot lane right now. Janna is trying to stall. Probably not the best idea there. That was really big by... Ooh, didn't have his ult up.
Doesn't matter, had Kayle.
But here comes... Well, there goes Sivir.
I'm sorry.
Jinx Rocket missed because of Tahm Kench.
That was really funny to me. Double kill.
Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Double kill. Zach,
Oh.
step on your blobs. Oh, alright, and Jinx is just gonna get freaked out. Okay. Jinx, with an objective like Baron up, you should not be splitting. You should have probably backed after that. Like, either you guys go Baron, you take top turret, or you back, get items, and stay with your team. Thankfully, you guys are up enough gold where that wasn't relevant there. It almost was. Zach nearly got a quadra.
And now,
Oh, you're also really far up now.
Oh, and then suddenly Tom Kench.
Yeah, and then... Yeah, but there's the... Got him. Alright. So Jinx, don't split by yourself, especially into champions that have a ton of CC. Lysandra, Rek'Sai. They're really good at just killing you, even with Tom there. Dragon's up in a minute. I'd like to see blue side either push their lane, push that top lane up, as Kale's going to do with Baron. Get that wave moving up towards that turret. And either go pressure the inhibs and then rotate down for Dragon when it comes up if they can't siege it well, because now they don't have Jinx. Or just go ahead, set up Baron, try to make a pick by the pit. Alright.
It looks like they're going to try and
Akali's got her... Yeah, Akali's got Lich Bane finished now. As does Kale. So there's some big Sheen procs coming in. Blue side is actually just not setting this Dragon up very well. Red team should have no business getting that scuttle. They should have no business walking out past their base. But they don't have the wards deep enough yet to cut that off. Gianna kind of getting caught out, burns ult. She should be able to walk away. Alright, and we also have a Titanic Hydra coming out of Trundle too.
He is beefy.
Lysandra, don't use your glacial path willy-nilly like that.
Especially not.
Go ahead, just throw your Qs and whatnot. E is very important. If you don't have it up, you're not as strong. You have Zhonya's and you have ult, but still. And Kale's just sitting topside. Oh, Kale, you stayed a little too long. They were ult using to get a pick.
I'm about to say, moments like that, the best you can hope for is to make them waste resources and maybe get a kill on their way out.
Meanwhile, Gianna got picked up in mid lane. It seems like you're caught out a lot. You're either too far up or not with your team. So, did you sell your boots? I think you sold your boots for Mercs. Oh god, Akali. Sivers, got the team fight coming in. Zonya's by
Jinx is
Lysandra.
still about by herself.
Still. Yeah, Jinx, you gotta be with your team here. Like, if you're here, you just clean up this fight 100%. Trundle is thankfully big enough where he can do that himself, but there's no reason for you to be off by your lonesome. Yeah, but Gianna, you're getting caught out a lot, it seems. You're playing too far up. Like, yep, there you go. Okay, and this... Jinx should be able to finish this kill up. And...
There's not really a wave. Well, I guess there is, actually.
Yeah, let's take the Ever turret wall. We wait.
They could probably take some... Oh, they're going to clean up all the inhibs.
They could... Yeah, all the inhibs are down. There's a wave right there.
Looking at death timers, they could take a lot more than what they're taking right now.
They could have, like, if Jinx just, instead of taking that tower, just went to the Nexus turrets, and Trundle tanked it, they could have just ended the game. They're going to end the game anyway. Oh, they backed. This is one of the things you can recognize when you can end the game. Oh, Trundle's just going to walk away. But Gianna, don't sell items you already bought and completed. It's one of the worst things you can do. Because I saw you had Mobies earlier, and now you have Mercs.
It's just a
total. So then you just throw away gold.
Yeah,
it's just wasting gold.
Total gold loss.
Yep.
And it's a pretty big one too, substantial. The lack of
especially
return.
as a support. Yeah. As a support, you can't be going around just willy-nilly selling items because my build path was incorrect this game. That happens sometimes.
And for those
but as Gianna, you want Mobies anyway because you're a support. You want to be able to move around the map and get wards with your extra speed rather than trying to tank some CC and whatnot.
And for those folks at home playing the Bronze Boot Camp drinking game, every time Santana says willy-nilly, take a shot.
I think I've said it like twice.
Well, that's 2 shots, isn't it?
We are not encouraging drinking. And remember...
Wait, this is T-Force Network. What are you talking about? Anyway,
stay sober or get pulled over. As we see a team fight coming out here at the Nexus, Janna tries to channel full ult. Jinx burns her down. They should just be... Trundle should zone. The rest should focus on the towers and Nexus. And that should be the game.
And there's the wrap-up, ladies and gentlemen. Goes over to blue team.
Yep. Alright, so... I think there's plenty to talk about here. Once we get into post-game. And then if you wouldn't mind, Leshok, pulling up the advanced team details.
I think I can do something like that.
Well, I hope so.
Since I remember... a second here.
Alright, so let's take a look-see once mine gets loaded up, because reasons. One of the things we like to do here at Bronze Boot Camp and Battle Arena is we'll flip over to the statistics page, and the first thing we'll look at is wards placed. So we had a 38-minute, almost a 40-minute game. The thing that stands out to me right away is, for such a long game, not a lot of wards were placed. Supports, you should be leading your team in wards. You're actually tied with a couple. Janna's actually leading her team, but Tom's tied with his Tom Hench, and Trundle's actually not that far behind. So what this tells me is, as supports, you guys aren't getting your Sightstone wards enough. You're not using them enough. What you want to try and do is set up areas of vision. So if you're getting ready to get a dragon started, for example, Tom, if you're from blue side, you want one in that banana bush by red team's blue buff, one over in by the blue buff, and then maybe another one by the three-way split by the red team's next or outer turret. So that way you have like kind of an arc of vision, so you can see where red team's gonna funnel in from. For the rest of the team, though, it looks like nobody bought any stealth wards on red team. Pinks were bought, but no greens. Even if you have a trinket, you should still be buying wards. Even if you have an upgraded trinket, you should still be buying wards. We harp on this in every Bronze Boot Camp, Battle Arena, LCS game, everything. Vision is key. Vision will win you games.
Vision saves lives.
If you just play around your vision and vision denial and what vision you have, climbing is a lot easier. I think that comes with more experience once you recognize what spots need to be warded, where some neat places to ward are that don't get sweeped as much or pinked as much. It'll really help you rotate around the map when you're ahead or get picks when you're behind. Because if you're warding more than the other team, you have more information. More information can lead to more kills, more objectives taken, and eventually more game wins.
Alright, before we give somebody a concussion for bashing him over the head for vision, let's look at item builds.
I mean, it's what I do. Yeah, so let's start with Jinx, because we'll just go in order. Player builds. Pretty standard Jinx build. Nothing too fancy coming out there. You did get a crit cloak. So on first back, you got BF Sword crit cloak. I wouldn't have done that. You might not have had the gold for anything else. But crit cloak usually isn't an item you want to buy by itself. Usually you'll wait to finish your Infinity Edge before getting that crit cloak. Because while crit chance is nice, you came back to lane with 0 pots. So if Janna and Sivir turn the lane around and start poking you out, or you got chunked out from a gank, you can't stay. So what I would have liked to see is maybe like boots and a dagger, or boots and some pots, something like that. Because after that, your second back, you got a longsword dagger, which doesn't build into anything closer to Infinity Edge. But if you had like boots already, you could have maybe gotten Greaves at that point instead. And Tax Beyond Jinx is very strong early on. lets you push down towers faster. Do you have anything else for that, Leshok?
That's the biggest thing that I have to say about Jinx. She played really well in lane. Did a lot of places where she capitalized really well. Split pushing has its right time and place. And when you're, especially when there's a big objective like Baron up, you kind of got lucky in that regard, where Trundle was able to pull everything through with the tankiness of Tahm Kench to back him up. But you want to be with your team as the AD carry. That's really the biggest thing that I can think to say about Jinx's play. Her build, I mean, it's standard ADC build. I would like to see you practice with Blue Trinket. Blue Trinket, I think, is really good for AD carries because it can warn you of where you are going.
As an AD carry, you should not be the front line warding. You should definitely have that Blue Trinket so you can check areas before you go into them.
So, and I know a lot of players, like even myself, you have to practice with it. If you don't ever start using it, you're never going to get good with it.
Split pushing, you're the AD carry. You're your team's main source of damage here. Although you have Kales, and Akali got some kills at the end there, but you're going to be doing the majority of the damage. You need to be with your team, otherwise 5v4s, red team still, even behind, can still pick up some kills. But Kale, let's go to Kale. Pretty standard jungle Kale builds at this point. Devour into Nashers, into Lichbane, and then Void. You can mix and match some items there if you want to Zonias, things like that. I'm not going to harp on that. What I am going to say is early game you played very recklessly. And you didn't get punished for it, thankfully. But you have to think about the jungle matchup you're playing into. First off, you face-checked it like 1 minute into that banana bush by red team's blue buff, and nothing came of it. You got your ward down, you got out. But in the normal solo queue environment, a lot of people tend to group up in that bush, and they'll get that would have been a free pick or a free summoner burn at the very least. And then about 4 minutes, you were farming red side's golems when your Trundle was pretty low and Rek'Sai was at almost full health. If Rek'Sai had been under her red buff, she would have seen you through Tremor Sense, and that's, once again, a summoner burned or a kill. So don't go invading early, even if you're a Devourer jungler, unless your name is Udyr, because Udyr can get away with that kind of thing, because he has move speed, he has stuns, he's got a kit loaded for counter jungling. Kale should just worry about getting her jungle farm to get a nice path going, and getting the camps as they come up, maybe providing some lane pressure or relieving some lane pressure if your other lanes are not doing as well, and then just get to that mid-game, late-game point where your State Devour is up, your ult's up, you can protect people, and you can just push these towers down.
How do you feel about, as a jungler, in this case, Kale took the Greater Vision Totem versus a Sweeper?
So, for junglers, whose name are not... unless your name is Eve, because Eve doesn't really need an early sweeper. Every other jungler should be getting sweeper. Vision denial is important, especially if you're going to try and gank, especially if you're going to try and counter jungle. That way you can see if you're on one. Kage and I talked about this on Thursday. You can't buy oracles anymore. So the only way you're getting vision denial is Raptor buff, or if you have a sweeper. You can always buy wards, but you can't buy vision denial. So I would definitely like to see a sweeper on the jungler instead.
Yes, that's when once you're in that point also in the jungle, this is just a general thing, smiting raptors is superior to smiting any other jungle camp once you're past that initial, oh, I'm a weak little guy in the jungle, because that vision buff is so good for showing you where it is and where it isn't.
Back when Cinderhulk was stronger, Gromp buff was also up there as well. It's still a good buff, but definitely you want to prioritize getting your Raptor smites. Tahm Kench, you played that lane super aggressively, and you were taking a lot of free damage at times, it seemed like. But I don't know how I feel about Tahm Kench as a champion. So you recognize that the lane you were playing in, they were walking into you a lot. They were taking a lot of free damage as well. and with your shield you were able to trade better. So you identified that. Your ults were a little suspect sometimes. You were sometimes ulting into 3 people by yourself, and while you didn't die like immediately, you got chunked to like 10% and had the flash or run away or something like that. So with your ults, you should see if somebody else will come with you, like maybe a tank, like Trundle here, just kind of pop in and cause some disruption there, or just use it early on to help your ADC get back to lane, maybe. Build path, standard, face the mountain, lock it. Swiftness boots are an interesting choice. I definitely, for the most part, I like seeing Mobies on my supports. For the reasons we stated earlier, you want to be able to move around and ward quickly without getting caught. You were trying to ward a little bit, but once again, both you and Janna need to work on vision placement. You did get an early sweeper and you upgraded it, so kudos to you there. Do you have anything else?
The only thing I think is, that ult, you can bring someone with you.
Yep.
But that's huge, especially because you use your ult most of the time for getting to where the action was. And as Santana pointed out actually early, if you time it right, you can immediately back with your carry, buy, and instantly ult back to lane at 6 and have item and 6 advantage before they can get there. Like, that is one of the biggest things you can do with Tahm Kench in lane.
It's a free teleport. And for Jinx especially, if you shove that wave up, you back, and then you're instantly back in lane. If Sivir backed at that point too, you, if not take the tower, are going to take it down to 40-30% from full, just because Jinx does so much damage with her attack speed buff. Yeah. Akali. Minor things. Upgrade your trinket, please. It's like a 40-minute game. You can spare the 250 gold. Build pass pretty standard. Haven't seen Akali in a while. You played the lane the lane well for the most part. You had a CS lead, and we're keeping that up pretty well. You had a couple poorly timed roams. The one that comes to mind is you roamed bot lane into 3 when your team wasn't there. Well, and then you just walked back to the lane. So you gave up some XP and CS in the mid lane for nothing bot lane because your team was already dead at that point. So just be mindful of when you're roaming. Where's your lane at in terms of mid? Can I roam? Is it pushed up into his tower? Am I getting pushed in? Well, if I'm getting pushed in, I can't roam. But overall, you did a good job getting out of some really sticky situations. You survived like sub 10% HP a lot. So good use of Akali Shroud and getting away from people. And you played very well. Got your kills, got your assists, got your carry going on. That's all I have for you, Mr. Zach.
Oh, so real quick on Akali there. This is just I don't know Akali super well, so
sure.
My biggest question is the build path order. I saw was going for, and it looks obviously like a void staff there at the end. I'm guessing off the items with the match plan. Do you feel that the void staff would have been a better pickup before Lichbane? I mean, I guess none of them.
No.
I'm looking at the enemy team, and they didn't really have a lot of magic resist.
Not only that, Lichbane is super important for Akali burst. If she doesn't like kill somebody in like her first couple of rotations, like her first few ults or so, there's a high chance that with Lissandra, Zac, Rek'Sai, that they can just CC lock her down from there, and then she won't be able to finish the kill. So having that extra Sheen proc off the Lichbane is very important for Akali. Maybe get Void before Rylai's, or honestly, instead of even Void, I'd probably like to see Zhonya's. Zhonya's let you go in. It's the same thing with Diana. You want that little bit of tankiness, so when you go in, you do your rotation, you can Zhonya's, and then get the reset when somebody's died. So, build pass fine though for the most part. I don't see anything wrong with going Lichbane before Voids though.
Okay.
Good question though.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Trundle builds. this is an interesting Trundle build. The new items have definitely changed the way a lot of top laners are playing. As we see here, Blade, always been standard, and then he went Mercs, got his Visage, and then we saw Titanic and Strix Gauge. So he's getting that extra HP, and just getting his resistances from stealing them from Zac.
Yeah, so I see he didn't really have armor, but for the most part, their team was so heavy magic damage.
Yeah, and Sivir was behind early, so he's just got enough HP. So yeah, like between the 3 HP items there, that's an extra 1300 HP on top of what he steals from his R.
Mm-hmm.
So he was being tanky by being big, and by Zac building tank items. So that's fine. Lane-wise, you had a couple of weird trades that happened. You gave up first blood because you didn't recognize that Rek'Sai was standing on a ward you placed. Just be mindful of that. Pay attention to where you place wards, and that way, when you see that, you're like, all right, now I need to run away. Or even if it's a farther out ward, now I can play back a little bit, waste the jungler's time somewhat, and then move back. And after that, go ahead.
No, I'd say I would like to see more teleports to say bot lane.
Yes.
Especially with Tom Kench being as a support there. Even with some pings or some simple typing, you can relay the idea of you teleporting with the Tom Kench ult, and suddenly you can have your entire team there.
Yep, just like, oh, there's 3 people, and now that person's dead. Yeah, for solo queue, it's for teleport play. Early on, you'll use it to get to lane, but once you've hit 6, once you get a little bit higher in level, and you start split pushing, you should be looking for ways to use teleport to flank. Now that requires team coordination to get some wards behind the enemy team, or wards in advantageous positions, or even just wards by dragon, so if a dragon fight breaks out, you can be there while you were splitting top, and draw that Zac there. Now all of a sudden it's a 5v4. But I agree, teleport could have been used a little bit better. Alright. Red team. Sivir. You stayed around a lot when you were really low on HP.
Yeah, it was a severe case of staying around lane too long.
I'm just gonna throw that one back and hope it doesn't.
The Claude's in the chat. That was for him.
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna throw that one out and hope it doesn't boomerang back. Anyway, so for Sivir, yeah, as I was saying before, Leshok derailed my train of thought here. Don't stick around when you're that low. Yeah, you're gonna lose some XP. Yeah, you're gonna lose some minions. It's better to just back and not die. A lot of what solo queue comes down to is not dying. If you don't give up kills to your lane opponent, you have a better chance of winning the game. So what I would like to see is, as a lane duo right there, I would like to see that get pushed in. Tom, Jinx early on, especially with Jinx rockets, and with her being mana gated, she can't clear the wave as well as you, and between your Q and your W, you should just shove her in. And with Rek'Sai being the more aggressive jungler in the matchup, you can safely shove that in. Okay. You want to take the rest of that then?
I mean, yeah, for Sivir, I can definitely see getting the static shift because you were behind to help the farm. But if I looked at the build order, and I remember there, you went BF Sword, then you went Pickaxe, and then you got an Avarice Blade. I understand you're feeling behind there, but I don't know how I really feel about getting an Avarice Blade before finishing IE.
You see it a lot sometimes. You'll see, especially on Sivir, you'll see it. It's, yeah, sure, you should try and finish IE, but if it's better than buying a crit cloak.
Mm-hmm.
You will see Avarice Blade a lot. It's just so you can get some passive gold, so you can get back into the game a little bit. That I'm not too worried about that.
Okay, I was more curious that Sivir is my only ADC is Draven, so I don't understand. I don't understand all these lesser ADCs and the ways that they work, but. Alright, so...
Lesser ADCs. Sivir's one of the strongest ADCs in the meta still.
It's Draven or nothing. Anyways, No, I mean, yeah, the build in lane. Again, we already touched on the sticking around for too long, and that got you, both you and Jana, that got you guys got killed a lot. You had the most, but the two of you had the most deaths on your team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually looking at runes: attack speed, quints, attack damage, marks, armor, magic resist. The Sivir, in your opinion, does Sivir need attack speed quints?
Yes. Every ADC should be taking attack speed quints.
Okay. So
What you see a lot of the times now for ADCs is you'll see attack 80 reds, armor yellows, or some mix of armor and health yellows, and you'll see 5 attack speed blues and then MR blues to finish that out with attack speed quints, or you'll just see like MR or blues. The ADCs early on have been taking more attack speed as the meta's shifted this later on, because they'll push a lot more, and just it helps smooth out autos early on. It's really nice, but that's what I've been seeing. But yes, you definitely should be having attack speed quints.
Yeah, because I realized it's something that we haven't looked at or talked about for almost anyone in this game has looked at their runes.
Yeah, I should have done that. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Well, we'll move on. I can't think of any other points for Sivir at this particular point in time, so we'll move on to Zach.
Oh, I do have one more thing really quick. Sivir, if you're going to use your ult, use it early. Don't you use it like a couple times when you like died. If you're going to like try and either save your team or force fights, use it early. That's what I had. Go ahead, go.
No, just moving on to Zach. Let's take a look here. We got Sunfire Cape, into Merc Treads, into Spirit Visage, and Leandries. I can't really put too much fault into the build there, and so I'm trying to think back.
No, it's pretty standard Zac build.
Yeah, and you did a lot of standard Zac things. Push and harass the lane, and use your ult or slingshot to get out when you got ganked. And you did upgrade your trinket. Just wasn't until like nearly 20 minutes in, but that's okay.
And sometimes that's gonna happen.
Yeah, point is you upgraded your trinket and you bought still vision wards. There were at least you bought 3 vision wards that game. Sorry, runes on Zac. Cooldown. This looks like cooldown reduction on the quints, armor or dual pen, reds, health per level, and then cooldown blues.
Yeah, that's fine. Zac, well, could you go through that one more time?
Yeah, cooldown reduction quints, hybrid pen marks.
Okay, no, you don't need cooldown quints. That's what I thought I heard. The thing with the Zac build is you want a little bit of cooldown. I'd have to look at masteries too. So you get 10% out of your Spirit Visage. You want a little bit more. Let's see, player Zac. You had cooldown quints. The thing, mixed pen, health. All right. So what I would like to have seen out of Zac, first off, might check your rune pages. Massive cooldowns usually, and if you're gonna get cooldown, you're gonna want scaling cooldown, because as you get to the later levels is when you're really gonna start team fighting, and that's when you want your extra cooldown there. So that's okay, but if you're gonna take cooldown blues, you want scalings, or just take like enough to get 5%, because then you get 5% out of that, 5% out of masteries, and 10% from Spirit Visage. That's 20%, and then if you build Aegis or something, that's a different story. But I would definitely like to see like AP quints out of you. AP quints wouldn't have been bad. Zac doesn't mind having some. It helps you use your abilities to last hit a little bit better early on. Health per level yellows are fine, and then I definitely would like to see some MR built in there somewhere. The reds. Mix pen, I could see it, but if you're going to get pen, just go flat pen for magic. You're really not going to be weaving in a ton of autos, and flat pen's going to help you out a lot more. So drop the cooldown quints, get like AP quints in there, and then switch your hybrids to just Magic Pen. And yeah, that'd be my advice for that. Continue.
No, that's solid points. I can't think of anything further to add there. I'm trying to. I probably would have liked to have seen teleport on Zac, to be honest. I think
Yes,
I generally
definitely.
like teleport on most top laners. The kill pressure is nice from Ignite, but you need to get off your island every once in a while. And especially with someone like Zac, who can bring so much CC into a quick engage, like teleport to bot lane, slingshot in, start bouncing, and that adds some extra kill pressure that a Sivir Janna lane is already kind of lacking.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's, like I pointed out there, the runes that Santana suggested, your build path looked just fine. Especially with the matchup, Sunfire Cape's going to help you there against Trundle, at least at the start, until he starts stealing your resistances. And teleport.
Yeah.
Teleport, when you're in top lane, you want to join the fight. Because get off your island. SOS, get off your island.
Pretty much. Teleport's just the strongest, and especially if you're not like a super snowball champion, like say champions I could see getting away with Ignite, Hecarim, but he also takes teleport still. Fizz used to when he was a top laner. He's moved back to mid lane now, but he was taking teleport, Ignite, or like super duper snowball champions like Riven. Rivens will take Ignite, but even then, most of the time, the top laners will take TP. And it's just to help you. If you get ganked and pushed out of lane, you can come back without losing anything. You can join team fights. You can take care of side lane control, things like that. So, and if it's because you're not comfortable using TP, just start using it, and you'll get comfortable with it.
The only way
learning to use TP is a hard thing.
The only way to get comfortable with something is to practice using it.
Correct. And speaking of practice, let's move to Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai.
I think the I'm kidding, of course. The Rek'Sai play was fine, but and I like that you took the Scuttles early, because it looks like your build path went like Gromp, Blue, Scuttle, Raptor, Scuttle, and then you took red buff late, and then you also had that early gank top lane before that too. So I like that you tried the pressure early. You burned a couple flashes. I would like to see to pay more attention to mid lane, especially when Akali was shoving up. I think she like shoved Lissandra in the tower at like level 4. You probably should have been in the area to like swayed that or burn an Akali flash there. The build's interesting. I don't know if I would have gone. If you go Cinderhulk, yes, I can see going Titanic Hydra, but your team really doesn't need more damage. Your team needed a more frontline tankage. And I know it's hard to do that into Trundle, who will just R you and steal your stats. But I would have liked to seen Randuins come out of you, because you have a Kayle and a Jinx. They rely on attack speed. Trundle also relies on attack speed. Randuins would have been very good here. And then an Aegis as well. So something like Cinderhulk, Aegis, Randuins would have been a really good build path for you. That way it allows you to tank more, it gives your team some AoE magic buff resist, and it slows down the attack speed of the two big carries over on the other side. And get your sweeper. Get your sweeper. You didn't upgrade your trinket or get a sweeper. And buy more wards. Just vision, 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 vision.
Wards.
Go ahead, Leshok.
I mean, I honestly don't think I have anything much more to add to that, looking at everything.
Nice, okay.
Wait, Rek'Sai also cooldown reduction Quints and cooldown reduction Blues.
Hold on, is this bugged? Are we sure it's not bugged?
Well, it's
no, it's not.
It's
okay.
different marks and seals,
okay.
so I'm going to assume that it's not bugged.
As a jungler, you don't want cooldown. Especially in your reds. You want attack speed, because it helps you clear faster. So, for example, here's just like an example, generic like 80 jungler page that I use a lot of times is just attack speed Quints, 80 reds, armor yellows, and then just MR blues. Like that, it's a pretty basic page. You can use that for your 80 carries as well. So it doubles up in functionality. but you don't need the CD, especially CD Quince that removes a lot of the attack speed you were getting, because you get more attack speed out of your Quince than you do in your Reds, so you take your 80 Quince, or 8 attack speed Quince, and then take the 80 Reds. Or here, you just have cooldown and attack speed, you don't actually have any extra damage, so that doesn't really... Your ganks are a little less potent than they could be. But yeah. I'm not high on cooldown Quince. But we can move on now to Lysandra. Ice Lady. I like that you want Abyssal. You recognize that, hey, Akali is going to try and kill me. I need to be somewhat tanky. And as Lysandra, you're going to be a lot closer to your enemies than a normal AP caster. Or, yeah, we'll call her an AP caster for now. She didn't go like an assassin build. So when you like W in and then or E N and then W, you're getting that AoE magic resist there. So that's fine. It also gets you a little bit tankier. Got your boots, got your pink ward, got some upgrades. There you go. And then you went Zhonya's. I like that. Oh, you went Morello's then Zhonya's. That's pretty standard on Lysandra from what I've seen when Lysandra is still seeing a ton of play. I have no qualms about that. The thing I would harp a little bit on is your glacial paths were a little suspect sometimes. You would just throw it out for like damage, and then or you would take it in at really inopportune times. So just be mindful of keeping that up, unless you're gonna make a pick and go all in and kill somebody, or just keep it up so you have a way to get out. And pretty standard runes from you. Mana regen in your yellows. Okay. I definitely would like to see like scaling health in that spot instead of mana regen yellows, but because you can always buy mana regen, you don't tend to get a lot of health on Lysandra unless you're getting like Rylai's, which makes no sense on that champion. But I would definitely like to see either like scaling armors maybe, or scaling healths. Health probably would be better in this case because it's against Akali. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Any other kind words to add?
Looking over her build, I can't disagree with anything there for Lysandra.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Zhonya's is kind of a clutch item there. Yep. I've known some people that like to go Roa because they're afraid of getting in closer, but all in all, I can't fault Lyssa there. So.
Nope. And then Janna. Alright, couple things here.
Ruby Sightstone.
Ruby Sightstone is a bad item and should never be completed unless you are full build. Because all you get out of Ruby Sightstone is an extra 250 health, and that's it. Like, you can hold an extra ward. But it doesn't, like, regen wards. It doesn't really do anything for you. As Janna, you don't need the health, and if you want health, there are better items you can be purchasing that'll help your team as a whole. So, Coin's fine. Coin's a good start. I like Coin on Janna. I tend to play a lot more aggressive, so I do Frostfang, but that's me being a bad player and just liking to hit people with spells. But definitely, as soon as you got your Sightstone, you should have switched to Red Sweeper. You did it at 33 minutes, but get that done right away. That way you're not wasting anything there. After that, you don't have to finish Talisman right away. You can upgrade it to Nomads for the extra gold. I would like to see you finish other items there in that slot. Probably, in this case, I think an Aegis would have been good here. It's a little bit more expensive. Aegis would be good. Yeah, probably Aegis. And then maybe something like... Then you can finish your Talisman and get your Locket and things like that. I would also like to see if you don't sell items that you finish, because then we went over this earlier, you're wasting gold. So either go Mobies or even CD boots on Janna are really strong. So one of those two options would be good. Merc's generally not as great as I close my window.
The touch on like for the but also to touch on the skill order. I do believe right now maxing shield on Janna is the
yeah.
Maxing Howling Gale, you're not getting a whole lot out of it as a support because you're not building AP, you're not trying to do more damage. It's not adding a whole lot. Maxing that shield really brings a lot to your AD carry.
Yeah, it gives almost at like max rank almost equivalent of like BF sword damage to an AD carry, which is really big. Also in lane, you were just kind of using shield when it was off cooldown. So, when you want to use shield is when you see that like maybe Silver Boomerang's about to like chunk somebody, because if you use shield after it's been cast, it'll still add the attack speed on before the damage is there. So things like that. Or when a trade happens, then you shield your AD carry, and you come out ahead on the trade because not only did you shield some damage from somebody taking that, you also did more damage because that's Eye of the Storm. That's what it does. Buffs that AD.
And Rune Page, I'm going. You need to have if you're building Rune Page, you gotta figure out what you're playing with, because I see this Rune Page is literally all over the place. You know, we've got a health quint, 2 ability power quints, an armor pen red, a health red, 4 magic pen reds, 3 hybrid pen reds, 5 health yellows, 4 armor yellows, and full ability power per level blue.
Your runes are a little bit more varied because you're trying to cover a lot more. But generally, if you're not gonna play Janna aggressively and up in lane when you're taking things like mix pen and stuff, if you take mix pen, you have to play your Janna aggressively. You have to walk up in lane. You have to shield yourself in auto. You can just take like 5% flat CD in your blues, and then something like health yellows, armor quints, and armor reds, and yeah.
Well, it's more again is that you want to synergize in your Rune Page. Like you've got so many, like you have literally 4 different types of red runes. Like for the most part, you're not going to want to be alternating so much. You've got 2 different quints, 2 different yellows, 4 different reds, and you've got 9 blues there. But like Santana was saying, you want to, unless you're playing really aggressive, you want to focus more on having health and a little bit of armor.
Like if you want to play your support more aggressive and more of an AP style, you could do something like mix pen reds. Still want your armor quints, but then in your blues you can have AP blues. That'll give you like almost 11 AP out of your blues, and it'll give you mix pen. So it'll give you a little bit more trading potential, a little bit more damage there. But that's definitely more of like an AP-ish support page right there. If you don't want that, then just go ahead and take armor reds, armor quints, health yellows. I think it's like 6 flat cooldown glyphs for the 5%, and then like MR blues.
Yeah, and if you keep getting good with Janna, like as I was pointing out, maxing E and getting attack speed reds means that you can just drop a shield, trade some autos real quick, and get out.
Oh no! Don't take attack speed reds. What, did he have attack speed reds in there?
No.
Oh, don't take attack speed reds in Janna. Don't do it. Did I say take attack speed reds?
No, that's what was recommended to me by Horse at one time. Like,
maybe at some point, but I think armor or mixed pen reds are your go-to there.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with how comfortable
on the support.
Aggressive you're going to be.
All right.
So
but overall, it looks like we're only going to get one game today, guys. Sorry. Sadly.
Things started a little bit late, got a little bit hectic, but the Hearthstone tournament is less than an hour away at this point.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't have a... Do you know what channel we're streaming that on?
It's going to be on this channel, the main channel.
Well, then we can't get another game going on this channel, because we will definitely be longer than an hour. So, once again, thank you for joining us for our one-game, one-shot of D-Force Presents Bronze Boot Camp. We will be back next week, same T-Force time, same T-Force channel. And if you want to play in Bronze Boot Camp, go on over to the Trinity Force podcast website and click on Battle Arena. There is Battle Arena for our silvers and our golds. That happens on Thursdays at 7 Eastern. And for our bronzies and silver 5s on Saturday, starting at 12 Eastern, going till about 3. We try to run about 3 games on each of those days. But go ahead, sign up sheets, sign up your time, throw your positions in there. We'll get the email or the invites out on game day, so be around on the times you said you were going to play. That way we can get these filled up so we're not struggling for players.
Yeah.
Also, this has been presented by the Trinity Force Network. We are a group of podcasts. Started out with a League podcast. We've moved into now some other things. We've got Horse Doctor. He's running Hearth of the Cards now for our Hearthstone players and enthusiasts. Leshok and I, we are over on the T-Force RPG side, where you can get your fill of D&D. We've got a Call of Cthulhu one-shot coming up. A lot of fun stuff going on over there. Along with forwards, in case you're really new to the game, need to know where are some good places to ward, what's the difference between AD and AP, just basic and general game knowledge. And as well, we have our professional podcast, our LCS Rundown, who's going to break down our NA and EU LCS, as well as the other regions. And as we head into Worlds here in just under a month, we'll start breaking some of those things down. Teams, groups, group draws actually today. So they'll be breaking that down, I'm sure, on the next podcast, talking about which groups are weak, which groups are strong, if NA even has a chance with no longer CLG having a jungler. And finally, our Brothers Down Under, the Oswald podcast, talks about everything in the Oceania scene, and you can raise your koalas there.
And they'll warn you if a dingo stole your ward.
That's not how that quote goes, but that's okay. But once again, I'm Santana.
I'm Leshok.
That's Leshok, and that's all we have for you guys tonight. Or today, I guess. It's afternoon. I'm still working on time.
Oh, Santana. Anyways,
oh, Santana.
Yes, follow us. Keep your eye on the subreddit. Keep your eye on the Twitter. There's so much going on with the network right now that we could spend another 20 minutes talking about. So, everybody, stay tuned because the Hearthstone tournament with Horse Doctor will be starting in less than an hour. So, see you then, everyone.